People see a Yorkie and think they're getting a tiny little lapdog with a bow and a manageable personality. That is not what happens. What they actually get is a tiny dog with huge opinions and no intention of being easy. Yorkies look like lapdogs and behave like management. That's why they catch new owners off guard all the time. So before you bring one home, here are 9 bad habits Yorkies are famous for. Number 1. They don't listen unless they feel like it. A lot of people look at a Yorkie and assume, tiny dog, easy dog, less power, less attitude, less chance of getting into a daily standoff with something that weighs 6 pounds. Then you actually live with one. Because Yorkies have this special little talent for making obedience feel optional. Not because they're clueless, usually the opposite. In fact, one Yorkie owner summed it up perfectly saying, "He had selective hearing, and everything I had told him was optional in his eyes." They hear you. They understand you. They just act like your command has entered a review process and is currently pending approval. You call them over and they pause like they're deciding whether your request aligns with their personal values. You say, "Drop it," and suddenly they're prepared to defend that disgusting object with their whole body. You tell them no, and it somehow turns into a negotiation. That's the Yorkie trap. People expect a sweet little lapdog and get a tiny, stubborn decision maker with opinions. And when that attitude isn't handled early, it stops being funny real fast. Number 2. Acts like the boss of the home. Some dogs join the family. A Yorkie arrives like they've been appointed to upper management. That bossy streak is one of the funniest things about them right up until it stops being funny. Because with a lot of Yorkies, it's not just confidence, it's commentary. They have opinions about when you should sit down, when you should get up, when you should throw the toy again, when dinner should happen, and whether your attention has been allocated correctly. If you ignore the first request, there's often a follow-up memo delivered at full volume. One Yorkie owner hilariously wrote, "The Yorkies respond to training? Yes, when they're in charge and training us." And that's exactly the problem. People expect a tiny companion and end up negotiating daily with a dog who thinks management is their birthright. The package is small, however, the executive energy isn't. Number 3. Barks at everything. The fantasy is usually a cute little companion with a silky coat and a tiny face. What people do not picture is the full home security system hidden inside that body. A Yorkie doesn't need a good reason to start barking. A reason, a half reason, or a vague sense that something somewhere has changed will usually do. A sound in the hallway counts. Somebody walking past the window counts. Even another dog existing in the general vicinity counts. One owner on Reddit put it perfectly, saying, "Mine barks at the TV. Any tiny little noise he hears from outside, he barks to play, he barks to eat. It drives us crazy. But he's so dang goofy and cute, we get over it instantly." That's why this habit catches people off guard so badly. They expect a cute little companion and end up with a dog who treats ordinary life like a non-stop emergency broadcast. And once the pattern really settles in, peace and quiet stop feeling normal. They start feeling like a lucky break. Number 4. They want you all to themselves. A Yorkie can be small enough to fit in your lap and still act like your lap has a strict one-guest policy. It looks sweet when they follow you everywhere, wedge themselves between you and whoever else was getting attention, and keep hovering like they've appointed themselves head of emotional security. But with some Yorkies, that attachment starts getting weirdly possessive. A partner leans in, the dog reacts. Another pet comes over. The dog inserts itself. A little affection happens nearby, and suddenly this tiny dog is acting like access to you should have gone through proper clearance first. One owner put it perfectly, saying, "My husband can't even hold my hand without my Yorkie losing her shit." That's the point where it stops reading like devotion and starts reading like ownership. And once a dog begins treating your attention like exclusive property, everybody else in the house starts feeling less like family and more like competition. Number 5. They think they're a big dog. Yorkies are one of the few breeds that can weigh about as much as a roast chicken and still carry themselves like they're fully prepared to handle security for the entire property. That's why this breed gets away with one of the funniest and dumbest habits in the small dog world. They don't always move through life with the caution you'd expect from an animal built like a decorative pillow with legs. They square up fast, talk back freely, and carry themselves with the energy of a dog who has never once checked their own dimensions. A bigger dog walks by, and a Yorkie doesn't think, "That seems risky." The Yorkie thinks, "Ah, good, an audience." One owner wrote, "Yes, our little 7-pound Yorkie thinks she's a 150-pound pit bull terrier and bosses all the big dogs in the house. It's amazing work." And that's where the joke stops being just a joke. Because the attitude is hilarious right up until the dog starts picking confidence-based fights their body absolutely did not sign up for. Number 6. They turn mealtime into a negotiation. Dinner with some Yorkies has the energy of a hostage negotiation run by a food critic. That's what makes this habit so maddening. The issue usually isn't hunger, it's standards. A lot of Yorkie owners end up dealing with dogs who sniff the food, stare at the bowl like they've received an insulting offer, and then wait to see whether a better arrangement is coming. Maybe the food needs to be hand-fed. Maybe it needs a topper. Or maybe it was acceptable yesterday and deeply beneath them today. The result is the same. Every meal starts feeling less like feeding your dog and more like navigating a tiny, irrational union dispute. Yorkie owners mention this pattern over and over, including one who said, "My 2-year-old won't eat unless hand-fed. He would be hungry, sniff the food, then look at us." This is why this habit really wears owners down. It's not one dramatic disaster. It's the slow, repetitive annoyance of a dog who keeps turning basic mealtime into an opinion poll, then voting no. Number 7. Has accidents in the house. There's a special kind of betrayal that comes from a dog small enough to look innocent while standing next to a puddle that absolutely was not there 5 minutes ago. This is one of those Yorkie habits that can drag on way past the point where people think it should be over. You think the dog has finally figured it out, and then one random afternoon the hallway corner is suddenly back in business. Some Yorkies get sneaky about it, and some act fully house-trained right up until the moment they destroy your confidence and your rug at the same time. One owner put it perfectly. "He is marking. He's not thinking of it as peeing in the house. He's thinking of it as marking his territory." That's what makes this habit so exhausting. It's not just the cleanup. It's the fact that you never fully trust the floor again. The rug looks suspicious, the quiet room looks suspicious, and after a while, a Yorkie disappearing for 2 minutes can feel a little too suspicious. Number 8. They can't be left alone. Privacy is not a concept many Yorkies respect. Give one of them a favorite person, and suddenly the whole house starts operating under a very aggressive shadow policy. Once a Yorkie decides you're their person, every move you make starts feeling like group business. A bathroom door, a quick errand, even a few minutes in another room can all register as unnecessary separation. At first, people read that as devotion, which is fair. A Yorkie being obsessed with you can feel adorable. The problem shows up when attachment stops at nothing. A closed door becomes a complaint, a short errand becomes a betrayal. Being out of sight for too long can turn a sweet little companion into a whining, barking protest machine. In fact, one owner summed it up perfectly. "My Yorkie follows me everywhere, even to the bathroom, and cries if I leave him alone for 5 minutes." That's when the cute part starts getting expensive. Because now you're not just loved, you're being monitored. And even the smallest exit starts coming with noise, guilt, and a very offended little audience. Number 9. They bark at guests and strangers. Nothing ruins the illusion of having a charming little companion faster than watching your Yorkie react to a guest like nobody cleared the visit with them first. This habit has a different flavor than the everyday barking problem. Random noises are one thing, but an actual person stepping into the house turns it personal. Some Yorkies seem to appoint themselves head of admissions, and unless the new person clears whatever invisible standards they've invented, the welcome committee gets loud fast. The guest could be smiling, harmless, and holding nothing more threatening than a tote bag, and the dog is still prepared to file a full objection. In fact, one owner described it like this: "It's pretty bad. When people come over and they're making too much noise, or if they get close to me, then she barks and growls at them." Things can get awkward quickly. You're trying to welcome someone into your home, and your Yorkie's acting like a villain just stepped in. Now the guest feels weird. You feel obligated to apologize, and the dog somehow manages to make the entire visit about their disapproval. Hey, if you enjoyed this, you'll probably love this video here. And if you hit subscribe, I'll donate a meal to a rescue dog on your behalf.